Hi, welcome to the Untitled Astrology full moon forecast for June 17th, 2019. So the moon is waxing. The energy is building. How are you feeling? The moon is going to reach complete Purnima on June 17th at 1:31 a.m. Pacific time. And then it will begin to wane again. Full moons are always expansive and energetic times. They can be intense too. They tend to amplify whatever's going on and make us maybe feel a little more sensitive as well. And this full moon is very close to the solstice, just 3 days before the summer solstice here in the northern hemisphere, where I am. Actually, I'm in California now. I made it back. I'm in San Ramon. I'm an ashram in San Ramon. You can see beautiful hills. So the solstice is an important energy peak. It's the longest day of the year here. The sun is reaching its kind of apex power. And the full moon is just 3 days before. So there's a lot of light going on right now. And for the people up north anyway. And the full moon is kind of like on the edge of a cliff. I feel like it's kind of appropriate that I'm here on this. It's really a steep incline. See, the moon is climaxing in Purnima, the last moment of Purnima, when it's, the moment we can't get any fuller, in the nakshatra of Mula. Mula nakshatra. Now this is a very powerful kind of grounding energy in some ways, you could say, but also very deep and destructive in other ways. But it's right on the very cusp of Mula. So it's just 1 degree into the sidereal sign of Sagittarius. This means it's on the edge between two very important signs, Scorpio and Sagittarius. And this area is called the Mula Gandanta. It actually has a name. And this Gandanta really is a place where there's a lot of energy, karmic energy stored, because it's very close to the galactic center. The Gandanta is also called the karmic knot. The center of the galaxy, there is a black hole. And everything is sort of swirling around it. And there in the core, something is pulling everything in. And it's also where, Mula is where Kali, Nirati, powerful demon-destroying goddess who is said to dwell in the land of the dead. It's a very destructive force, actually. And Mula is also called the root star, or the foundation star. So like where the galaxy is rooted, where everything is created and eventually destroyed, you could say. There's also something about this foundational quality of this nakshatra that really speaks of something infinite, eternal, beyond the material. Like the black hole in the center of the galaxy, it's sort of this silent, black, still space at the center of a spinning wheel. The infinite, dark, and supporting, in a sense, keeping it all together. So it is a very powerful spiritual full moon, actually, where I think because of the other things going on in the sky, as I spoke of last time, you see Rahu, the head of the snake, is now very close to Mars and Mercury. And Saturn, on the other edge, exactly opposite, is right on K2, the tail of the snake. So Rahu, the head of the snake, is an expansive and opening and aggressive energy, especially when combined with Mars. And with Mercury there's so much potential to feel very impatient, a lot of potential also not to be able to engage peacefully in discussion. So Rahu, Mars, Mercury, this is some pretty volatile, fiery energy altogether. And it can make for some maybe misunderstandings or trouble communicating. So you know, this is a time when people can get pretty opinionated, I would think, or just very overzealous with their plans maybe. Travel can be a little chaotic as well, so be aware that in these days leading up to the full moon especially, there's some apt to be just surprising situations. On the other side, Saturn and K2, which has been going on for a few months now and will continue till the end of the year, Saturn and K2 are very close to each other as well. And what is that? Well, Saturn is karma, and K2 is too in a way. There's an amplifying force of karma here going on with all of this intense, willful, fiery, impatient energy. There's also limitation, feeling cut off, feeling disenfranchised, feeling lonely. These feelings could be actually amplified and become very frustrated, like, oh, I want to connect but I can't, or I want this thing, I want to control the outcome of this thing that I really desire and I can't. It's very difficult sometimes, these kinds of situations where we have to surrender, because that's what Saturn and K2 really are teaching here. And then there's Mars and Rahu and Mercury on the other side questioning, well, how much do I have to surrender? And where are my boundaries here? Where do I say no? So this Rahu, Mars, Mercury combination affects people in various ways depending on how it aspects their natal chart. So if you'd like to find out more about how it affects you on a personal level and how to harness this energy and use it while it's happening, because there's a lot of potential for growth in this as well. A lot, especially spiritual growth. Book a reading with me, we can talk about it. I'll leave a link below in the description window. But in general, overall, this full moon is quite auspicious actually, because it's quite close to Jupiter, this expansive Jupiter, even though it's not in the same sign technically, just passed into Sagittarius, as I said. There is this amplifying kind of positive growth happening, even though it's in this very edgy place like where I'm sitting right now. And it's important right now, I think more than anything, to pray for world peace, to be patient, and to ground into what you believe in, to understand you're not alone. Don't isolate. If you feel alone, reach out. And if you know anyone who might be having a hard time in whatever area of their lives, reach out to them. Okay, let's just see what the tarot cards have to say about this full moon in Mula Nakshatra. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting. Another very fiery reading. This Mars and Rahu together, gasoline and fire. And with Mercury now, it's just there's so much inflaming, so much oxygen. You know, when you blow air onto fire, it gets bigger and stronger. So the first card that came through is, well, actually this was the first card. We'll talk about this first. The Fool. So this is a card that has to do with air. And it's funny, in traditional decks, the Fool, you'll see him with his dog kind of on the edge of a cliff, right? And he doesn't see, he's looking up. He's about to walk right or fall down the cliff. I've been feeling like I'm on this cliff, like if I'm not careful I'll just fall back. Don't worry, it's not that steep, but it is pretty steep. maybe a bit foolish for me to be recording here, but it's true that it takes an element of surrender. As I was saying, Saturn and K2, of not knowing, of losing control, of spiritual innocence. That's what the Fool represents. Just allowing, falling off that cliff, falling off the Gandanta. Who knows where it will take you? On the other side, though, Rahu wants control. You might say he's obsessed with certain things, getting certain things, achieving certain things, being heard. Dominion is the name of this card. I like that name. But the Two of Wands is a very fiery card, a creation, of creating a sense of organization, of control as well. It's a positive, creative card. It's actually a Mars card too. So you see the fiery element of Mars and Rahu together. Another time in Ace, we had this last new moon, because this is just a fiery time. Summer solstice here in the north, but also this, like I was saying, the energy of what's going on with the nodes, with the eclipse nodes, and Mars in particular. It can feel frazzling, it can feel volatile, it can feel aggressive, like fire. Even though Mula is called the foundation star, the root star, like the root chakra, right? Grounding into something. What? It's falling, actually. It's not that it's gripping onto something in a sense that it knows or can control the outcome. Mula is spiraling inward like a black hole. Mula is free falling. And that's its power. It's detachment. So how to free fall? Really, without losing your sense of self completely. In some situations, you have to know your boundaries. You have to know when to say no. But then you also have to know when to let go and trust. How do you root down when there is no ground? Connect with your source, the center of who you are, the foundation that's always there. You are not just your past. You are not the same as you were even a second ago. You are reborn every moment, new. You do have a choice. In knowing that, even in falling, you are held safe. Don't allow the flames of temper, of heat and nervous pressure overwhelm. Step out of drama, of disturbance, where you don't trust, where you're holding on, where you're trying to control. Let go, just a little, and allow for the universe to play in its own time and its own creative plan. Meditate, listen to soft music, relax, balance it out, the pitta. And thank you for coming. And if you would like to book a reading with me, I'm available in the week to come. I'm going to put a link down below. I offer Vedic Astrology and a tarot readings online, live with me. You can ask me anything and look right at your chart. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube video or get on my mailing list. It's absolutely free. And I will see you soon on the next new moon, which is going to be an eclipse.